It will be exiting only from the current iteration of the loop. Got it? So when only this condition is satisfied, when I is equal to 6 only, when I equal to 6 only, it will be coming out of this iteration, current iteration of the while loop. Got it? So it will be just starting from the beginning of the loop. The current iteration when I equal to 6 only will be stopped, and it will not go even to this line I plus plus or plus plus I, which I have given after continue. It will not execute. Understood? When the condition is I equal to 6, it will stop the current execution of the while loop. Then it from this line, no, it will start from the beginning of the loop. So beginning of the loop is again, it will be checking whether I is less than or equal to 10. Now, as the increment is not happening, this will end up in an infinite loop because I is always 6, right? After reaching I equal to 6, it will reach only up to continuous statement. It will not increment the value of I. So this is the difference between break and continue. I'll show the previous slide. So from continue, we have for the continuous statement, we have seen that it will transfer the control to the beginning of the loop. The loops can be either while loop, it can be do while loop, or it can be a for loop, or even it can be a nested for loop, right? So what will happen is, even if you have in nested for loop, there will be 2 for loops, right? Wherever this loop is mentioned, this continuous statement is mentioned, in that the current iteration will be stopped and it will take the control to the beginning of the loop. That's all. So this difference you have to understand. Many of the interview questions also will be asked from the break and continue statements. So as I had told you here, these examples also you can see the arrow is marked to the beginning, while for the break, you can see here for continue, it is not showing outside, the arrow is not going down. And when you draw the example also for the exam, you can show it is starting to the, or it is taking the program control to the beginning of the loop. What is beginning of the while loop? It will always test the condition before executing the body of the loop. Here also for the for loop also, it will take to the beginning of the loop. Beginning of the for loop. Here in do while, this difference you should be keeping in mind. Always, the beginning of the do while means it will be the testing of the condition. While it is already there, test condition is already on top. But for the do while, the test condition is mentioned along with the while, right? It is not with the do. It is with the while at the end of the looping. So even if the break statement continue from here after checking the if condition, it will be taking, this is actually to the beginning of the do while loop. Okay, after this line, where it will go, it will start execution from this line. Whatever lines we have mentioned over here after continue will not be executed. So this is a difference of continue statement from the break statement. So for break statement, what will happen is, I'll just show that example also. For the break, the arrows are down, except for the, in that, we have mentioned only for do while it is given down. Here, for the break, it will come out of this. This is the body of the loop, right? Body of the while loop. I know this slide is not clear. It will be taking the control out of the, while loop. That's why we are mentioning giving the arrow down. Okay, here also it is taken down because we are exiting from the current loop. Here also we are exiting from the current loop. Here also we are exiting. So here, as I told, there is a nested for loop. Here in nested for loop, if you give a break inside the inner for loop, listen here, if you give a break in the inner for loop, the control will be exiting only from the inner for loop. Listen here, it will be exiting only from the inner for loop. I'll be asking questions based on this. Okay, small interview question test I will take. So here, after break, whatever we have mentioned in the inner for loop will not be executed. It will exit from the inner for loop body. From here to here is the inner for loop body. So it will exit only from the inner for loop. So this is the major, this is the difference of a break and a continue statement. So there will be questions asked based on this. And one more example I have given. So here, what is that? I'm starting I equal to 1. So I'm using a control variable called I for the for loop. And when I equal to 1 to I less than 5, I plus plus. If I equal to 3, then we have to continue. So what will happen in this example? Here we have given printf statement with the value of I being printed. So what will happen in the first iteration? It will be I equal to 1. It will be checking whether I equal to 3. No. So it will not execute this continue statement. It will be printing I value. So it will be printing 1. Then it will be incrementing the value of I. So it will be checking again to is not equal to 3. So it will move to this line and it will be printing the value of I as 2. Again, when it is incremented, I value becomes 3. When I value is equal to 3, we have mentioned the code as continue. Then what will happen? To which line it will be moving? Answer in the chat box. To which line the program control will be moving when I equal to 3? Are you able to hear me? Answer in the chat box whether it will be printing or it will be what will happen? What will be the output of this program? Are you able to hear me? All are sitting quietly as I'm muted.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Mehboob, you tried, what is that? Percentage you have given. Okay. Will it be printing or will not be printing? Mehboob, it is not correct. When I equal to 3, what will be the output? Gautam. Yes, ma'am, he is typing. Gautam, what will be the answer? Gautam Muniraj. So when I equal to 3, what will happen? Why no one is answering? No one is listening now. Tejas, it is wrong. Ligit, you have I value is not starting from 1. It will be printing 1 and 2. And then you have given only 1 and 2. Okay. Anushka, who is Anushka? Nevina. So he have given 3 plus and all. Continue. What will happen if you, Mehboob, what will happen when it comes to continue? I'm asking that. The program control will be moving to printf line or to the beginning of the for loop. What will happen now? Why we are using continue, I'm asking. What will be the output of this small program? This you can understand. Printf line Rahul has given, Tejas has given 1, 2. Tejas, can you explain why it will be printing 1, 2? Only 1, 2, right, Tejas? Tejas, are you there? Yeah, tell me why it is printing 1, 2.
I value is 1 and 2. So
I value is 1 and 2. Then here we have given I until I less than 5, I plus plus. So which all values will be printed using this printf statement? Can you explain? Just he gave, I think, 1, 2. From where you got answer is correct, but you are not telling why. Okay. Why you are not getting then? I thought you understood. I was trying to move to the next topic jump. What is the use of continuous statement? No one is answering. Huh? What is the use of continuous statement? The control will come out of the current execution of the loop. So when I equal to 3, the current execution is when I equal to 3. When I equal to 3, we are giving continue means it will come out or exit from the current iteration of the loop. The current iteration is when I equal to 3, right? So it will not execute the remaining lines. Understood? When it encounters a continue, it will take the control back to the beginning of the program. Understood? So what will happen now? Here it will again increment the value of I by 1. That is, it will become 4. When I is equal to 4, it will check whether I is equal to 3. No. Then it will again go and print the value of I. So the output will be 1 and then 2. 3 will not be printed. Understood? Because when I equal to 3, we have given continue. It will take the control to the beginning of the program. That is beginning of the loop. That is, it will increment the value of I. it will not print the value of I when I is equal to 3. It will skip. Okay, this line alone, it will not be executed. So again, when I value is incremented, it becomes 4. Again, it will come and check if I is equal to 4. I is not equal to 4. So as normal execution, it will come to this line. It will not go to this continue because we have given this only for the condition when I equal to 3. Why all are keeping quiet? Then it will be printing what? Printing the current value of I, that is 4. Then what will happen? As normal for loop, again it will come and increment the value of I. Value of I was 4. Now when it is increment, it will become 5. It will be checking whether 5 is less than 5. No, it is not less than 5. Understood? It is not less than 5. 5 is equal to 5, right? We didn't give equal to 5 also. So what will be the output? 1, 2 and 4. Understood? So they just gave only 1, 2. After that, 3 will not be printed. I was asking for the current iteration. When it continues, it will again print the value of 4. After that, it will not be printing anything because we have given the condition I less than 5. So nobody understood either. Understood now. Nobody understood the concept of continue. Now what you should ask one doubt at least, no? Huh? What is the use I am taking and then you are not... So tell me what will be the output. All answer. Otherwise, why I need not go to the next topic. Tell me what will be the output of this program. I'll call one by one. So here, let me see how many are there from the last I'll start. Madhusudan. Today we'll see how many are there. Madhusudan, I'll give absent. No, those are not answering. Madhusudan. All kept video on this one on and they are going for some other things, right? What will be the output? Madhusudan? I'm marking absent. So in the chat box only I will give because I want to take so Madhusudan absent. I know many of you are just for the namesake you will switch it on and go. And I know whenever you are giving only one attendance for attendance you will be giving in the chat box. I know they are not there. So Manikanda, if I am not strict now, no, in the beginning you will all be alert. I know. Manikanda, absent, right? Manikanda, are you there? Manikanda? No one is there. Manikanda. Gayatri. Gayatri. I'm really going to mark you absent because why, no? I'm asking doubt if you have. Gayatri, tell me what will be the output of this program? For this break statement, Mehboob, I'll check. 1 second. Tell me, Gayatri, what will be the output of, you can message in the chat box also, no problem. When I'm giving a break, you see, this is an example for break. The num value variable is initialized to 0 and we are checking the while loop, it will be executed until num value is less than or equal to 100. But in between, we have given a break. So what will be the output of this program? So here there is a printf statement also. And here I am giving a print also, num value. So tell me what will be the output of the program, Gayatri? When num is equal to 0, in the first iteration itself, it will be Janani, Gerard and Mehboob has answered. So here printf, it will be printing 0. It will be checking whether num is equal to 2, no. So it will not execute break. Again, it will increment the num value, right? It will increment the num value. Again, it will be checking num whether it is less than or equal to 100. When num value is 1, we have incremented here from 0 to 1, right? So it will be checking and it will be printing the value of num. So now the current value of num after increment is 1. So it will be printing 0 and 1. Again, it will increment num value. It will be 2. It will be printing 2. Understood? It's not 0 and 1. It will be printing 2. 0, 1, 2 it will be printing. Then it will be checking whether num is equal to 2. When num is equal to 2, what if we have to do? We have to break. Break means it will come out of this while loop itself. Understood? It will come out of this while loop and it will execute this line, printf out of the while loop. Are you getting? So it will, the answer will be 0, 1, 2 and then it will be printing out of while loop. It's not 0, 1. It is 0, 1, 2 and then out of for loop. Are you all getting? If you are not trying to see the iterations, then it will be like waste of time. I am just like nobody will be explaining like this. No, a single iteration I am taking again and again. Huh? I can move. Enough topics are there. We didn't even take operators. I didn't start operators. I thought let the concept be clear and why we have to go in a hurry. And now the next week, I think you will be having the first internal. This week, they are from this Monday, 19th onwards, your seniors are having. After that, you will be having internal exam. So I have kept one slide for the difference between break and continue. So break is used to terminate the loop or exit from the loop, or you can the terms, if at least you can remember, you use the word exit. For break you can give exit the loop. Understood? Here in continue, what will happen? It will transfer the control to the start of the loop. This word you have to remember, to the start of a loop. So here it will be like continue will be taking the transfer to the it will be used to transfer the control to the start of the loop. Not only for the marks of internal, I'm telling this, you need to know. This is a basic thing for all the programming languages. When we are using break or continue, what will happen? You should know. Okay. The break statement when executed causes a immediate termination of the loop containing it. So wherever we are using, even for the switch case also, when we are using a break statement, we cause the termination of the current loop, termination of the loop, termination of the loop. Loop itself, it will be exited. Got it? Immediate termination of the loop. But one term, if you include in this, if I'm writing immediate termination of the current iteration of the loop, then it becomes continue. This break will be immediate termination of the loop, but here it is the current iteration of the loop. This is the only difference. Break, when we give, it will be completely exiting. That is a better term to remember. It will be terminating or exiting from the loop. Only one difference is there actually, that I have written into 2 times. That's all. Understood? So here only break means that loop itself. Even if you have given the checking condition up to 1000 also, if you give a break for a particular condition, it will just exit from the loop. What are the 3 types of loops? For loop, while loop and do while. Okay. Okay. Then if you are at least responding, even if it is wrong answer, then I will feel some you are asking one doubt, at least I will feel. Now all are sitting quietly, switching on and going, having breakfast. First hour is like this, no? Now the go to statement. So as I told, there are jumps. We are learning about the 3 different types of jump statements what we use. Jumps are used. Jumps, the word meaning itself, it is to come out of a loop. It is used to exit from a loop. So it can be either the current iteration of the loop, or it can be from the when we use break, what will happen? Exit completely from the looping statement. Now go to statement. We have already studied in the decision making and branching. Go to statements is used to transfer the control. So go to statements are also known as unconditional and unconditional jumping statements, because we are not mentioning any condition. Understood? These small differences you should be keeping in mind. This and all university question paper will not ask, but I am telling for interview sake you should remember. Here the previous thing, no, break and continue, we were like mostly we will be giving with a condition. Here without any condition itself, if you want to give a transfer of the control, we will be making use of a go to label. So here the two keywords that we are using is, one is go to is there and then followed by a label. Label is nothing but a variable name. That same name we have to use it wherever the control has to transfer. So you should be aware of the syntax. Go to is the only keyword, but label is a variable name. Any name you can give, okay, label name. And you have to put a colon out after the label name. So when you give go to label, this will take the program control to the label mentioned. So from the line after the label, the statements will be executed. So immediately whatever statements we have mentioned, no, after go to will not be executed. So there is a jump from this position to this position. Got it? It will transfer the control to any place in a program. Wherever, no, whatever be the location, if you give go to label and label some statements, from that place it will be executing the program. It is used to provide a branching within a loop. So if you want to have a branching, decision making and branching, in that chapter also I had taken go to. Why? Because it is used for making a branching within a loop. And also to the second use is to transfer the control to any place in the program, right? So and even if we can use to exit a deeply nested loop. So whenever we are using within the loop, that's why I gave in this chapter also. But I kept go to in the last chapter of branching, and also in this chapter where we have the loops. So in order to exit from a loop also, we can use go to. There are two types of go to statements. Yeah, in the last chapter we studied, there is forward go to and backward go to. If you are labeling and if you are using a go to label and we have the label afterwards, then we are giving it as a forward go to. If we are giving the label first and then the go to label, then we are having a backward go to. Understood? Not understood? All are sitting quiet, no? Okay. If you don't want me to explain more,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am. Okay,
Yes,
if you have
ma'am.
any doubts, you have to stop me and ask. Okay, because there is no point in explaining like that if you are not having any.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, you take from some questions also from the net and see whether the topics which we covered today. I will also try to do. If now tomorrow is Saturday, no, we will try to do. I'll try to prepare some 3 questions I had kept. Like that interview questions. If you attempt, the concept will be clear. Okay, then we will not remember. No need of studying C program. Just execute 2-3 programs. Then the whole concept will be clear. Just other theory subjects and all you have to study. But see, like maths and all, no, we need even maths we have to try out. This, if you understand the concept, you can write. Okay. One program, if you write, don't mug up and write. I'm telling. I'm always making you to see the algorithm and then write the program, right? So like that, if you write, then it will be clear. Okay. Here also I have given example. So here we are giving some go-to statements. This we have already seen in the previous example also. Wherever we are giving if error, go to stop. So stop is where outside the loop. Anywhere we can give the label. So whenever we are giving go to stop, it will take the program control wherever we have mentioned stop to that place. Here there are two go to statements. One is with the label ABC, the other one is with the label stop. So when we give go to ABC, it will move to ABC. When we give go to stop, it will move to stop. So you can, here there are two things explained. One is to exit from the loop, to exit from the loop, just like our break statement. This is go to which you have used in order to have a jump within the loop. So loop is starting from while to the body of the loop is stopping here, but within the loop itself, I am making a jump from one position to the other position. Like that, your go to statement can be used within the nested for. You see here, this is the outer for loop, this is the inner for loop, and we are using a go to statement if error occurs, right? If error, go to error. Error is a label name, understood? Error is a label name. So we are giving the error outside that. The error label name we are giving outside both the for loops. Nested for loops are ending here, right? This is the outer for loop and this is the inner for loop, and we are giving an exit outside the for loop. So these two are the, so when I'm sending the notes, I will, you are telling no, it is blurred, this PPT. I'll try to, that time you see whether now it is in PPT, no, that's why it is not clear. Otherwise it is clear when we see near, because I'm now using Zoom because of that, I think. Otherwise it is clear. So that is the last topic in this chapter. This I kept the previous slides. Few algorithms which we had covered before, that same thing I had kept it here. So this is the last topic. Go to label is the last topic in this chapter. Understood? So right from the beginning, if you see, we were studying in this chapter decision making and looping statements. Don't see the only the first line. This is actually looping statements. Based on a decision, we are making a looping. So we are telling it as decision making and looping. The previous chapter is decision making and branching. Okay. So this chapter is mainly for the looping statements. Okay. So the looping statements, what all things it will be having and all we have studied. Condition variable or control variable will be there, and it will be setting in the setting the control variable, will be initializing the control variable. The body of the loop will be executed, and again it will be tested whether the condition variable, whatever testing condition we have given, no, that is satisfied. It will be incrementing and updating. It can be either increment or decrement the condition variable. These are the steps which are involved in the looping statement. So setting means we will be initializing or using a variable, or we can just tell initializing of the control variable or condition variable, execution of the statements of the body of the loop, testing a particular condition, and then incrementing, or you can either increment or decrement, right, of the condition variable. The looping statement consists of two segments, that is the body of the loop and the control statements, right? These are the two things which a looping statement has. The control statement tests a certain condition. Always it will be testing, and then it repeats the execution of the statements, of the statements which are given within the body of the loop. And depending upon the position of the control statement, we can either have entry control or exit control. Entry control is also known as pre-test. Exit control is also known as post-test. So that means at the entry, pre-test or entry control, we will be checking the condition at the entry. While in exit control, we are checking the condition after the one iteration of the loop. So this is a important question which is asked by the university. Here it is tested, the condition is tested after the first execution. But first execution is done without any checking of the condition. That means it is unconditionally executing the first execution. Examples you should remember. So this entry control, it will be always checking the condition and then only it will execute the body of the loop. Exit control, the first execution is done without checking the condition. And we have three loop structures, that is while, do while, and for statement. So a while is an entry control statement. If the test condition is true, the body of the loop is executed. Once it becomes false, so depending upon the true or false only, the body of the loop will be executed. If it is false, it will not execute. If it is true, it will execute. So the gender statement or the syntax is given as while conditional expression, the body of the loop. So the conditional expression is a Boolean expression which will be either giving a true or false. So I have given one example. Whenever the condition is true, it will be considered as a 1. And whenever the condition is false, it is considered as 0. So if you directly give us 0 and 1, 0 means false, it will not execute printf statement. 1 means true, it will execute the printf statement, or it will print the BCA at SFC. the while statement. Now using two examples, small example which you can write for the exam. As you can see, always, even for loop we have seen initialization of the control variable, testing of the control variable, and increment or decrement of the control variable. That all the three things are done even for the while loop also, right? I'm giving splitting and giving, not in a single line. For the for loop, we are giving it same in the same condition bracket. Here we are giving it separately. Initialization, testing, and decrement. Got it? So the variable, or the control variable, or condition variable, or counter variable, any variable name we can give. That is the variable which will control the execution of the body of the loop. Now with this, I have given few examples for the while loop. This is for printing. This is there in your question paper also, university question paper. So to print the sum of 10 numbers. So for writing the example of while loop, you can give small example. In case they are asking how to add the 10 numbers using while loop, you can write the program. This I gave algorithm, but I made you people write the program also, right? I'll change in my notes. I'll keep the program. If you want, I will keep it along with this. Okay. This is another example for finding the factorial. So both are having the same steps I had told you. Here we will be using, here also we are using the two variables, I and fact, but fact is initialized one. You have to remember that we are multiplying fact with I, and each time, so initialization is happening, and here it is like we are checking the condition as we are using the while loop. I in the algorithm I didn't give it before. You can, if you want, you can give it here also. Checking of the condition and then increment of the control variable. All the three will happen, whatever be the looping statement we are using. Okay. Now, another example was sum of the digit. This and all for the explanation sake I have given, but in the notes I am not keeping all this. So sum of the digits, a few examples I have given, and even reverse of the digits, right? This you can remember, I think, as I kept animation. I can't. So in both the things, what are the two steps what we are having? We will be taking the remainder in order to extract the last digit, and in order to get the remaining now digits, you will be dividing it by 10. Mode with the 10 and divide with the 10. These two steps you should remember. Got it? In order to extract a digit by digit from the last digit, we will be finding the mode with the 10 and divide with the 10. Okay.